So in order to get a list of data into your calculator, you have to do that under the Stats button. So if you hit the Stats button, and under Edit, the first choice, number 1, this is the place where we actually enter lists into our calculator. Now I have the capability of holding up to 6 lists in my calculator at one time. So the way that you enter data into the list is you get into this area here and you just start typing your values and pressing enter. So I'm just going to put a few values into my list. 5, 6, 9, 2. If for some reason I have typed several values in and I notice a mistake, I'm able to cursor back up to the value. Say I really needed to have a 12 here instead of a 2. I can simply type over that value and just press enter and it will replace that value with a 12. If I need to have my list in order, and say I forgot a value up here that's supposed to be above the 9, I can do a second function insert and I can put a value in. It inserts a natural 0 in there, but you can change that to whatever value you need to have. Say maybe it's supposed to be a 3. I can just type a 3 into there. If I need to actually clear the whole list, and I actually want to start again and get rid of all these values, I can simply go up to the name of the list, and once I'm on the name I can hit clear. And it looks like the numbers are still there. However, they aren't. If we move off of the name, they really actually aren't there. So sometimes students actually move on to the name of the list, and instead of hitting clear here, they'll hit delete. And when you do that, you actually delete the whole list from the calculator. So now my lists start with list 2 and so on. So if I need to get that back in there, I want to actually have list 1 back into my calculator, I need to be on the name of list 2 and I need to do a second function insert. And it opens up a list and I need to name that L1. So I can find L1 down here under a second function number 1. You can see that L1's right above number 1. And then I can just press enter and rename that list L1. Clear to the right of the lists, on list number 6, there is a place where you can actually name the list whatever you would like to name it. So if I wanted to call this list, for example, age, I can actually do an alpha lock here, and I can actually type the letters A and G and E. I'm finding those letters on the keyboards. They're the little blue letters right above the buttons. And I can press enter and I can actually name that list age, for example. The only other feature I'd like to show you about lists in this video is how to sort a list. So I'm going to enter some numbers back into list 1, and we're going to put them in at random in different values. So the calculator is actually capable of sorting a list from smallest to largest or from largest to smallest. So sometimes that comes in handy for stat students that might be trying to do a histogram by hand, for example, and they need to have their list sorted. So the first thing you do is you put your values into your list, and then if we hit stats again, you'll notice that numbers 2 and number 3, one says sort A, which is sort in ascending, and the other one says sort D, which is sorting in descending order. We usually need things in ascending order, so I'm going to select number 2. And then this just asks you to tell it which list you'd like to sort. And since my information was in list 1, I'm going to give it list 1 for a name. And I can close the parenthesis, but even if I don't, if I just press enter, it's going to say done. And when I go back into stats and I go back into edit and look at my lists, you can see that now it's sorted from smallest to largest. So that's a really handy feature to know about.